1. We're taking a closer look at a 1984 Buick Riviera convertible that's currently up for sale at $7,200. First off, let's talk about the specs. This Riviera has been driven for 120,000 miles and comes with an automatic transmission. The exterior and interior are both in a stunning red color, and it runs on gasoline. The seller mentions that there are 2 previous owners and that some money is still owed on the vehicle, but it comes with a clean title and has no significant damage or problems. Now let's dive into the seller's description. They emphasize that this is a rare find, as not many convertible Rivieras were made back in 1984. The seller also highlights that Buicks from this era had excellent motors, unlike the problematic Cadillacs of the same period. Under the hood, you'll find a 307 Olds engine with a 4-barrel carburetor and a 4-speed automatic transmission. The seller admits that the car needs a full detailing, but they assure potential buyers that it runs and drives great. The power top is said to work flawlessly, and the car comes with 4 new tires, making it a perfect weekend driver for the summer. The seller mentions that the Riviera needs very little TLC, suggesting that it's in good overall condition. However, it's important to note that the seller explicitly states that the car was not used during the recent summer season. This could mean that it has been sitting for a while, and it's always a good idea to thoroughly inspect a vehicle that hasn't been driven regularly. The seller also seems to be quite firm in their expectations, emphasizing that interested parties should not waste their time if they don't know what they're looking at. They are only entertaining serious offers, so be prepared to negotiate if you're genuinely interested in this classic convertible. Overall, this 1984 Buick Riviera convertible seems to be a solid choice for classic car enthusiasts looking for a weekend cruiser. While it may need some minor work and a good cleaning, the seller appears to be honest about its condition and is upfront about the car's history. As always, we recommend thoroughly inspecting the vehicle and taking it for a test drive before making a final decision. 2. We're taking a look at a classic 1966 Plymouth Belvedere 2 that's currently being offered on Facebook Marketplace for just $6,000. This is an off-season price, so if you're in the market for a vintage ride, you might want to act fast. First, let's go over the basics. This Belvedere 2 has clocked in 7,807 miles and comes equipped with an automatic transmission. The exterior and interior are both finished in a beautiful blue color, and it runs on gasoline. Now let's dive into the seller's description. The owner mentions that the car has undergone some mechanical upgrades, including new brakes and tires, which is always a plus when it comes to older vehicles. The original Poly 318 engine has been replaced with a standard 318, and the car now features a dual exhaust system with headers and a 4-barrel intake. A new alternator has also been installed, ensuring that the electrical system is up to par. The seller also points out that the Belvedere 2 has power steering, which is a nice convenience feature for a car of this age. Additionally, the owner has the components for the original factory air conditioning, although it's not explicitly stated whether the AC is currently functional. According to the seller, the car runs and drives great, which is encouraging. However, it's important to keep in mind that this is a 55-year-old vehicle, and it may have some quirks or issues that are not mentioned in the ad. As with any classic car purchase, a thorough inspection and test drive are highly recommended before making a final decision. One thing to note is that the seller is open to trades, but only for a Cummins 404 pickup truck. If you happen to have one lying around and are willing to part with it, this could be an interesting opportunity. Overall, this 1966 Plymouth Belvedere 2 seems to be a solid choice for classic car enthusiasts looking for an affordable project or weekend cruiser. The recent mechanical upgrades and the runs and drives great description from the seller are definitely positive signs. However, as with any older vehicle, it's crucial to do your due diligence and thoroughly assess the car's condition before making a purchase. 3. We're diving into another exciting find from Facebook Marketplace. The car in question is a 1985 Chevrolet Corvette, and it's currently up for grabs at a price of $7,500. First, let's talk about the basics. This Corvette has 103,000 miles on the odometer and comes with an automatic transmission. The exterior and interior are both finished in a striking red color, and it runs on gasoline. The seller mentions that they are the sole owner of the vehicle, which is always a good sign. Additionally, the car is paid off and comes with a clean title, so you won't have to worry about any outstanding financial obligations or title issues. Now let's get into the juicy details provided by the seller. This isn't just any ordinary 1985 Corvette. It's a rare Z51 model with only 14,082 units ever produced. The Z51 package was a performance option that included upgraded suspension, brakes, and cooling systems, making this Corvette a true enthusiast's choice. Under the hood, you'll find a 5.7-liter Tuneport 350 engine, which is paired with an automatic transmission. The seller emphasizes that the car has been exceptionally well maintained, which is crucial for a vehicle that's over 35 years old. One of the standout features of this Corvette is its removable glass top, allowing you to enjoy open-air driving when the weather permits. The seller also notes that the car is exceptionally clean both inside and out, which is a testament to the care and attention it has received over the years. However, the seller is upfront about the fact that the car isn't perfect. They mention that there are a few cosmetic blemishes, but they also confidently state that you won't find a nicer Corvette for the money. This honesty is refreshing and adds credibility to the seller's description. As with any used car purchase, especially one that's over 3 decades old, it's essential to conduct a thorough inspection and take the car for a test drive before making a final decision. While the seller's description paints a promising picture, it's always best to verify the condition of the vehicle in person. In conclusion, this 1985 Chevrolet Corvette Z51 appears to be a fantastic opportunity for collectors and enthusiasts alike. With its rare performance package, well-maintained condition, and transparent seller, it's definitely worth considering if you're in the market for a classic American sports car. 4. We're taking a closer look at a 1983 Mercury Capri that's currently listed on Facebook Marketplace for $2,150. This car has an interesting story, and we'll dive into the details provided by the seller. First, let's cover the basics. The Capri has a remarkably low mileage of just 23,800 miles, which is quite impressive for a car that's nearly 40 years old. It comes with an automatic transmission, a gold exterior, and a brown interior. The car runs on gasoline, and the seller states that it's in very good condition with a clean title and no significant damage or problems. Now, here's where things get interesting. The seller mentions that the car does not come with a motor or transmission. This means that you'll need to source these components separately if you want to get this Capri back on the road. However, the seller does provide some additional parts that could be useful for the restoration process. The interior of the car is described as very nice, which is a positive sign. The seller also includes extra parts in the sale, although they don't specify what these parts are. Additionally, the Capri comes with a posit-raction rear end, often referred to as posy, and a hood, which could be valuable for those looking to restore or modify the car. It's worth noting that the seller has installed new shocks on the vehicle, which suggests that they've put some work into maintaining or upgrading the car's suspension. While the lack of a motor and transmission may be a deal-breaker for some buyers, others might see this as an opportunity to build their dream Capri. With the low mileage and very good condition of the car, it could serve as an excellent foundation for a restoration project or a custom build. As always, we recommend thoroughly inspecting the vehicle in person and assessing the cost and availability of the missing components before making a purchase decision. It's also a good idea to research the market value of similar Capris to ensure that the asking price is fair, considering the work that needs to be done. In summary, this 1983 Mercury Capri is an intriguing project car that could be a great find for the right buyer. While it lacks a motor and transmission, the low mileage, good condition, and included extra parts make it an attractive option for those willing to take on a restoration or custom build project. 5. We've got a unique find from Facebook Marketplace, a 1976 Cadillac flower car. This rare vehicle is currently up for sale at a price of $6,500. First, let's go over the details provided by the seller. This Cadillac has been driven for 75,000 miles, which is relatively low for a car of its age. It comes equipped with an automatic transmission, making it easy to drive. The exterior is finished in a classic brown color, although the seller hasn't specified the interior color. As expected for a car from the 70s, it runs on gasoline. The seller mentions that the car has had 2 owners in the past, which is a good sign as it suggests the vehicle has been well cared for. Additionally, the car is paid off and comes with a clean title, so you won't have to worry about any outstanding financial obligations or title issues. Now, let's dive into the seller's description. They state that the car runs great and that everything works, which is encouraging to hear. With only 75,000 miles on the odometer, the engine is said to be quiet and running like a new car. This is a testament to the build quality and durability of classic Cadillacs. It's important to note that the seller is firm on the price, asking for $6,500 in cash only. They are not open to any payment plans, so be prepared to pay the full amount up front if you're interested in purchasing this unique vehicle. As with any used car, especially one that's over 45 years old, it's crucial to inspect the vehicle thoroughly in person and take it for a test drive before making a final decision. While the seller's description paints a positive picture, it's always best to verify the condition of the car yourself. One thing to keep in mind is that flower cars, also known as funeral coaches, were designed to transport caskets and flowers during funeral processions. As a result, the interior layout and features may differ from a standard passenger car. This could be an interesting talking point or a unique feature for collectors, but it's something to consider if you plan on using the car for regular transportation. In conclusion, this 1976 Cadillac flower car seems to be a well-maintained, low-mileage classic that could be a great addition to any collection or a unique daily driver for the right buyer. The seller's description suggests that the car is in good mechanical condition, but as always, a thorough inspection is recommended. 6. We're taking a look at a 1953 Pontiac Chieftain that's currently available on Facebook Marketplace for $7,200. First, let's go over the basic information provided by the seller. This Chieftain has been driven for 76,000 miles, which is relatively low for a car that's nearly 70 years old. It comes with a manual transmission, adding to its classic driving experience. The exterior and interior are both finished in a beautiful blue color, and the car runs on gasoline. The seller mentions that the vehicle has had 2 owners, and it's paid off with a clean title. Importantly, they also state that the car has no significant damage or problems. Now let's dive into the seller's description. They keep it short and sweet, stating that the car runs and drives excellent. This is great news for potential buyers, as it suggests that the Chieftain is in good mechanical condition despite its age. The seller also reiterates that the car has a manual transmission and a clean title. One interesting point to note is that the seller mentions a possible trade. While they don't provide any details on what they might be looking for in a trade, it could be an option for those who have another classic car or vehicle to offer. As with any classic car purchase, it's essential to inspect the vehicle thoroughly in person and take it for a test drive before making a final decision. While the seller's description is positive and the car seems to be in good condition, it's always best to verify this for yourself. Pay close attention to the condition of the body, interior, and mechanical components, as well as any signs of rust or damage. It's also worth considering the potential maintenance and repair costs associated with owning a classic car like this 1953 Pontiac Chieftain. While the seller states that the car has no significant issues, it's important to budget for regular upkeep and any unexpected repairs that may arise. In summary, this 1953 Pontiac Chieftain appears to be a well-maintained, low-mileage classic that could be a great addition to any collection or a fun weekend cruiser. The seller's description suggests that the car is in excellent running condition, and the possibility of a trade could be an interesting option for some buyers. As always, A thorough inspection and test drive are recommended before making a purchase. 7. We're checking out a 1985 Oldsmobile Cutlass that's currently listed on Facebook Marketplace for $12,000. Let's start with the details provided by the seller. This Cutlass has a remarkably low mileage of just 40,000 miles, which is quite impressive for a car that's 38 years old. It comes equipped with an automatic transmission, making it easy to drive. The exterior and interior are both finished in a sleek gray color, and the car runs on gasoline. The seller mentions that they are the sole owner of the vehicle, which is a good sign, as it suggests the car has been well cared for. Now, let's take a closer look at the seller's description. It's quite brief, simply stating, "You look on a 1985 Olds is completely original. I'm asking for $12K. While the description doesn't provide a lot of details, the seller does emphasize that the car is completely original, which could be a major selling point for collectors and enthusiasts who value authenticity. However, it's important to note that the seller doesn't mention anything about the car's overall condition or any potential issues. This lack of information could be a red flag, as it's essential to have a clear understanding of the vehicle's condition before making a purchase. Given the limited information provided, it's crucial to ask the seller for more details about the car's history, maintenance records, and any known problems. A thorough inspection and test drive are also highly recommended to ensure that the car is in good mechanical and cosmetic condition. It's also worth considering the asking price of $12,000. While the low mileage and original condition could justify a higher price point, it's important to research the market value of similar Oldsmobile Cutlasses from the same year to ensure that the price is fair. In conclusion, this 1985 Oldsmobile Cutlass has the potential to be a great find for the right buyer, especially given its low mileage and original condition. However, the lack of detailed information from the seller means that potential buyers should proceed with caution and do their due diligence before making a decision. Be sure to ask plenty of questions, request more photos, and schedule an in-person inspection and test drive to get a better sense of the car's overall condition. 8. We're diving into a 1966 Mercury Monterey that's up for grabs on Facebook Marketplace for $5,000. First, let's go over the details provided by the seller. This Monterey has been driven for 82,000 miles, which is relatively low for a car that's over 55 years old. It comes with an automatic transmission, making it a breeze to drive. The exterior is finished in a beautiful burgundy color, while the interior sports a vibrant red. The car runs on gasoline and has had 2 owners throughout its lifetime. Now let's take a closer look at the seller's description. They mention that the car has been in the same family since new, having spent time in California, Oklahoma, and Florida. This suggests that the car has been well cared for and cherished by its owners. The seller is upfront about the car's current condition, stating that it was painted 18 years ago and now has a couple of rust bubbles. They admit that the car could use a new paint job to address these issues. This honesty is refreshing and helps potential buyers understand the true condition of the vehicle. Mechanically, the seller notes that the 390FX motor needs a timing chain replacement. However, they also mention that the transmission, rear end, interior, and brakes have all been done, which is a big plus. These updates suggest that the car has been maintained and improved over the years. The seller describes the Monterey as an exceptionally clean one-family car, which is a testament to its history and the care it has received. They also express interest in trading the car for specific models, such as a 69 or 71 Thunderbird, Lincoln Mark III, or Cutlass. This could be an interesting option for those who have one of these vehicles and are looking to make a swap. Lastly, the seller mentions that the car would make a nice sleeper for a 429 engine upgrade. This suggests that the Monterey has the potential to be a powerful and exciting ride with the right modifications. As with any classic car purchase, it's crucial to inspect the vehicle thoroughly in person and take it for a test drive before making a final decision. While the seller's description provides valuable insights, it's always best to verify the car's condition and assess any potential issues or repairs that may be needed. In conclusion, this 1966 Mercury Monterey seems to be a well-loved one-family car with a lot of potential. Despite some rust bubbles and the need for a timing chain replacement, the car appears to have been maintained and updated over the years. The seller's honesty about the car's condition and their openness to trades make this an intriguing opportunity for classic car enthusiasts. 9. We're taking a look at a rare find on Facebook Marketplace, a 1978 Chevrolet Caprice Aero Coupe, currently listed for $10,000. First, let's go over the details provided by the seller. This Caprice has an impressively low mileage of just 52,000 miles, which is remarkable for a car that's over 40 years old. It comes equipped with an automatic transmission, making it easy to drive. The exterior and interior are both finished in a classic green color, giving it a true vintage vibe. The seller mentions that they are the sole owner of the vehicle, and it comes with a clean title, indicating no major accidents or damage in its history. Now let's dive into the seller's description. They start by emphasizing the rarity of this particular model, the Caprice Aero Coupe. This suggests that the car may hold significant value for collectors and enthusiasts. The seller notes that the car has been garage kept, which is a big plus for a classic vehicle. Storing a car in a garage helps protect it from the elements and can significantly slow down the aging process. Being a one-owner car that's completely original, unmolested, further adds to its desirability, as it indicates the car has not been modified or altered from its original state. Another positive aspect mentioned by the seller is that the air conditioning and heat are both working, which is a great feature to have in a classic car. However, they do point out that the car needs a paint job and a new headliner. While this may seem like a drawback, it's not uncommon for a car of this age to require some cosmetic work. It's important to keep in mind that while the seller states the car has no significant damage or problems, a thorough inspection is still recommended. Given the age of the vehicle, it's essential to check for any potential rust, mechanical issues, or other hidden problems that may not be immediately apparent. The asking price of $10,000 may seem high at first glance, but considering the rarity of the model, its low mileage, and its one-owner status, it could be a fair price for the right buyer. As always, it's a good idea to research the market value of similar Caprice Aero Coupes to ensure that the price is in line with other examples. In conclusion, this 1978 Chevrolet Caprice Aero Coupe appears to be a rare and well-preserved classic car that could be a great addition to any collection. While it does need some cosmetic work, its low mileage, one-owner history, and original condition make it an attractive option for enthusiasts. As with any classic car purchase, a thorough inspection and test drive are recommended to ensure that the car meets your expectations. 10. We're taking a closer look at a 1974 Mercury Comet that's currently up for sale on Facebook Marketplace for $5,500. First, let's go over the basic information provided by the seller. This Comet comes with an automatic transmission, a brown exterior, and a beige interior. It runs on gasoline and has had 3 or more owners throughout its lifetime. The seller also mentions that the vehicle is paid off. Now let's dive into the seller's description. They start by mentioning that the car is powered by a 250 inline-6 engine. However, they also note that the car has been sitting for a couple of years and will need some work to get it running properly. The seller states that the car will fire up if gas is poured directly into the carburetor, indicating that the fuel system may need some attention. One important thing to note is that the car currently has no seats. However, the seller is including a set of Ford Maverick bucket seats and rear seats that are said to be in really good shape. This is a plus, as sourcing and installing new seats can be costly and time-consuming. The seller also mentions that they will include 2 sets of Mustang wheels with the car, which could be a nice bonus for those looking to customize the look of the Comet. Now, let's address some of the issues mentioned in the description. The seller is upfront about the fact that the floors need to be replaced. They even mention that they have some Ford Mustang metal pans that they were planning to use for the repair, which will be included with the sale. This is a significant issue that potential buyers should keep in mind, as floor repairs can be extensive and expensive. The seller also notes that the car has been lowered 2 inches in the rear. While this may appeal to some buyers looking for a custom look, it's important to consider how this modification may affect the car's handling and ride quality. Finally, the seller is clear that this Mercury Comet is a project car and should not be expected to drive home. This means that potential buyers should be prepared to invest time and money into getting the car roadworthy. The asking price of $5,500 may seem a bit high for a car in this condition, but it's important to consider the potential value of the included parts, such as the Mustang wheels and the replacement seats. As always, it's a good idea to research the market value of similar Mercury Comets and to factor in the cost of the necessary repairs and upgrades. 11. We're taking a look at a rare find on Facebook Marketplace, a 1977 Cadillac DeVille with only 55,000 miles on the odometer, currently listed for $7,500. First, let's go over the details provided by the seller. This DeVille comes with an automatic transmission, a classic white exterior, and a striking red interior. The low mileage of just 55,000 miles is quite impressive for a car that's over 45 years old, suggesting that it has been well cared for throughout its life. Now let's dive into the seller's description. They start by emphasizing that this is a very rare survivor car, which implies that the vehicle has remained largely original and unmodified since it left the factory. This is a big selling point for collectors and enthusiasts who value authenticity. One of the standout features mentioned is the working moonroof, which is a desirable option on classic cars like this DeVille. The seller also notes that the car has a white combo, likely referring to the white exterior and red interior color scheme, which is a striking and eye-catching combination. The seller goes on to describe the body as solid, with no rot, indicating that the car has been well preserved and has not suffered from significant rust or corrosion. They also mention that all the chrome trim is present on the vehicle and that all panels are in good shape with no cracks. This suggests that the car has been stored properly and has not been exposed to harsh elements or damage. Another positive aspect highlighted by the seller is that the car comes with new tires, which is a great feature that can save buyers money and provide peace of mind when it comes to safety and performance. The seller emphasizes that the car is in original condition, which further adds to its value and desirability among collectors. Original, unmodified cars are becoming increasingly rare, and many enthusiasts are willing to pay a premium for them. While the seller's description paints a very positive picture of the car's condition, it's always a good idea to inspect the vehicle thoroughly in person and take it for a test drive before making a purchase. Even well-maintained classic cars can have hidden issues or may require some maintenance due to their age. The asking price of $7,500 seems reasonable for a rare, low-mileage, and well-preserved Cadillac DeVille from this era. However, as with any used car purchase, it's a good idea to research the market value of similar vehicles to ensure that the price is fair. 12. We're taking a closer look at a 1984 Buick Riviera that's currently up for sale on Facebook Marketplace for $5,500. First, let's go over the details provided by the seller. This Riviera has been driven for 86,250 miles, which is relatively low for a car that's nearly 40 years old. It comes equipped with an automatic transmission, making it easy to drive. The exterior is finished in a classic tan color, while the interior sports a rich brown hue. The car runs on gasoline and has had 3 or more owners throughout its lifetime. The seller also mentions that the vehicle is paid off and comes with a clean title, indicating no major accidents or damage in its history. Now let's dive into the seller's description. They start by stating that the Riviera is in great condition, which is always a positive sign. The seller then goes on to list several new components that have been installed, including a gas tank, radiator, battery, rear shocks, and brakes. These upgrades suggest that the car has been well maintained and that the seller has invested in keeping it in good running order. The seller also mentions that the tires have low mileage and are in good condition, which is another plus. It's important to have reliable tires, especially on a classic car that may not have all the modern safety features of newer vehicles. One thing to note is that the radio has been replaced, which could be a matter of personal preference. Some buyers may prefer the original radio for authenticity, while others may appreciate an updated stereo system. The seller emphasizes that the car runs and drives great, which is crucial for any vehicle, but especially for a classic car. They also mention that they use this Riviera to attend car shows, suggesting that it has been well cared for and is in a condition suitable for displaying at events. While the seller's description paints a very positive picture of the car's condition, it's always a good idea to inspect the vehicle thoroughly in person and take it for a test drive before making a purchase. Even well-maintained classic cars can have hidden issues or may require some ongoing maintenance due to their age. The asking price of $5,500 seems reasonable for a Buick Riviera in this condition, especially considering the recent upgrades and the car's overall presentability. However, as with any used car purchase, it's a good idea to research the market value of similar vehicles to ensure that the price is fair. In conclusion, this 1984 Buick Riviera appears to be a well-maintained and attractive classic car that could be a great addition to any enthusiast's collection. The seller's description suggests that the car has been updated with new components and is in good running condition, making it suitable for both driving and displaying at car shows. 13. We're taking a look at a 1980 Chevrolet Camaro that's currently listed on Facebook Marketplace for $13,900. First, let's go over the details provided by the seller. This Camaro has an impressively low mileage of just 36,600 miles, which is quite remarkable for a car that's over 40 years old. It comes equipped with an automatic transmission, a striking orange exterior, and a sleek black interior. The car runs on gasoline and has had only one owner throughout its lifetime. The seller also mentions that the vehicle comes with a clean title, indicating no major accidents or damage in its history. Now, let's dive into the seller's description. They start by emphasizing the low mileage and the fact that the car has a standard shift transmission. The seller also notes that the interior is clean and features leather seats, which is a nice premium touch. They mention that new speakers have been installed inside the car and in the rear trunk, which is a great addition for music lovers. The seller states that the tires and rims are in good shape, which is important for both safety and aesthetics. However, they do point out a few issues with the car. Firstly, the air conditioning does not work and needs a new compressor. This is something to keep in mind, especially if you plan on using the car during the hot summer months. More importantly, the seller mentions that the transmission makes a sound when driving and needs servicing. This is a significant issue that potential buyers should take into consideration, as transmission repairs can be costly. It's crucial to have the transmission thoroughly inspected by a professional mechanic before making a purchase decision. Lastly, the seller notes that there is some rust under the door. While this may not be a major issue, it's important to assess the extent of the rust and how it may affect the car's overall condition and value. While the low mileage and clean interior are definitely attractive features, the transmission issue and the rust are concerning. These problems could potentially lead to significant repair costs down the line. The asking price of $13,900 seems a bit high considering the mentioned issues. Potential buyers should factor in the cost of repairing the transmission and addressing the rust when determining if the price is fair. As always, it's a good idea to research the market value of similar Camaros and to have the car thoroughly inspected before making an offer. 14. We're taking a closer look at a 1956 Plymouth Savoy that's currently up for sale on Facebook Marketplace for $6,500. First, let's go over the details provided by the seller. This Savoy has been driven for only 41,000 miles, which is quite low for a car that's over 65 years old. It comes equipped with an automatic transmission, a classic black exterior, and an off-white interior. The car runs on gasoline, and the seller mentions that the vehicle is paid off and comes with a clean title, indicating no major accidents or damage in its history. Now let's dive into the seller's description. They start by saying that this car is a head-turner, suggesting that it has a strong presence and attracts attention wherever it goes. The seller rates the car as a solid 7 out of 10, mentioning that with a little elbow grease it could easily become an 8 or 9. This implies that the car is in good condition overall, but could benefit from some minor improvements or repairs. The seller states that the car runs great and that they are currently driving at 40 miles a day, which is a testament to its reliability and roadworthiness. They also mention that you'll get plenty of thumbs up and honks while driving this classic, which is a fun bonus for those who enjoy the attention that comes with owning a vintage vehicle. Under the hood, the Savoy is powered by a small block V8 350 engine. The seller admits that they're not a crazy gearhead and don't know all the little details about the car, as they acquired it through a trade deal for a boat. This honesty is refreshing and helps potential buyers set realistic expectations. The seller does point out a couple of minor issues. The radio doesn't work, which may not be a big deal for some buyers, but could be a drawback for others who enjoy listening to music while driving. They also mention that there are some small rust spots and include a picture of the main one. While rust is a common issue with older cars, it's important to assess the extent of the rust and how it may affect the car's overall condition and value. One interesting aspect of this listing is that the seller is willing to consider partial trades for smaller items of value, as they are trying to downsize. This could be an attractive option for buyers who have items to trade but may not have the full cash amount on hand. The asking price of $6,500 seems reasonable for a 1956 Plymouth Savoy in this condition, especially considering its low mileage and overall solid state. However, as with any used car purchase, it's a good idea to inspect the vehicle thoroughly in person and take it for a test drive before making a final decision. 15. We're taking a look at a stunning 1972 Pontiac Grand Prix that's currently listed on Facebook Marketplace for $15,000. First, let's go over the details provided by the seller. This Grand Prix has an incredibly low mileage of just 10,000 miles, which is absolutely remarkable for a car that's nearly 50 years old. It comes equipped with an automatic transmission, a classic tan exterior, and a sleek black interior. The car runs on gasoline and comes with a clean title, indicating no major accidents or damage in its history. Now, let's dive into the seller's description. They start by mentioning that the car has a 400 V8 engine, which is a powerful and desirable option for this model year. The seller emphasizes that the car is in excellent condition, both inside and out, which is a testament to how well it has been cared for over the years. The seller also notes that the car comes with lots of extra parts, which could be a great bonus for buyers who want to maintain or upgrade their Grand Prix in the future. They mention that the car has a small cam, air ride suspension, and a straight-piped exhaust, which suggests that it has been modified for improved performance and style. The car also sits on brand new BF Goodrich tires, which is a great feature that ensures a safe and comfortable ride. According to the seller, the car runs and drives great, with little to no work needed to turn it into a daily driver or a date-night ride. This implies that the car is not only in excellent cosmetic condition, but also mechanically sound. The seller also mentions that the car has always been garage kept, which is a significant plus as it helps protect the vehicle from the elements and preserve its condition. The asking price of $15,000 may seem high at first glance, but considering the car's low mileage, excellent condition, and desirable modifications, it could be a fair price for the right buyer. The seller states that they are open to reasonable negotiation but are not interested in trades, and they require cash in hand for the purchase. As with any used car purchase, it's always a good idea to inspect the vehicle thoroughly in person and take it for a test drive before making a final decision. However, based on the seller's description and the provided information, this 1972 Pontiac Grand Prix seems to be a rare find in remarkable condition. In conclusion, this 1972 Pontiac Grand Prix appears to be an exceptional classic car that has been well maintained and tastefully modified. With its low mileage, excellent condition, and desirable features, it could be a great investment for any enthusiast looking for a stylish and powerful vintage ride. The seller's description suggests that the car is ready to be enjoyed as a daily driver or a special occasion vehicle, making it a versatile choice for the right buyer. 16. We're taking a closer look at a gorgeous 1970 Chevrolet Monte Carlo that's currently up for sale on Facebook Marketplace for $15,000. First, let's go over the details provided by the seller. This Monte Carlo has a low mileage of just 10,000 miles, which is likely referring to the miles on the replacement engine. It comes equipped with an automatic transmission, a striking green exterior, and a matching green interior. The car runs on gasoline, and the seller mentions that the vehicle is paid off and comes with a clean title, indicating no major accidents or damage in its history. Now, let's dive into the seller's description. They start by describing the car as a beautiful 1970 Chevrolet Monte Carlo, which suggests that the car is in excellent cosmetic condition. The seller notes that the car is all original, except for the motor and transmission. The Monte Carlo now features a small block 350 engine paired with a Power Glide transmission, which is a popular and reliable combination for this era of Chevrolet vehicles. The seller mentions that the motor has roughly 10,000 miles on it, which is relatively low, and indicates that the engine has been recently replaced or rebuilt. This is a significant selling point, as a fresh engine can provide peace of mind and potentially many more years of enjoyable driving. The seller enthusiastically states that the car is an absolute beast and runs and drives great, which implies that the Monte Carlo is not only in great cosmetic condition, but also mechanically sound. They also mention that the car is stored during the winters, which is a good sign that the vehicle has been protected from harsh weather conditions and road salt, helping to preserve its condition. The asking price of $15,000 may seem high at first glance, but considering the car's overall condition, originality, and the recently replaced engine, it could be a fair price for the right buyer. As always, it's a good idea to inspect the vehicle thoroughly in person and take it for a test drive before making a final decision. One thing to keep in mind is that while the seller states that the car has no significant damage or problems, it's still important to check for any potential issues that may arise with a 50-year-old vehicle. A thorough inspection by a qualified mechanic can help identify any areas that may need attention or repair. In conclusion, this 1970 Chevrolet Monte Carlo appears to be a stunning and well-maintained classic car that has been tastefully updated with a new engine and transmission. The seller's description suggests that the car is in excellent condition both cosmetically and mechanically, making it an attractive option for collectors and enthusiasts alike. If you're in the market for a vintage muscle car with a fresh powertrain, this Monte Carlo is definitely worth checking out. 17. We're taking a look at a 1976 Buick LeSabre that's currently listed on Facebook Marketplace for just $2,500. First, let's go over the details provided by the seller. This LeSabre has been driven for 66,852 miles, which is relatively low for a car that's over 45 years old. It comes equipped with an automatic transmission, a classic white exterior, and a blue interior. The car runs on gasoline, and the seller mentions that they are the sole owner of the vehicle. Additionally, the car is paid off and comes with a clean title, indicating no major accidents or damage in its history. Now let's dive into the seller's description. They start by describing the car as a good running Buick with a 5.7 V8 engine and a 4-barrel carburetor, which is the original powertrain for this model. The seller notes that the car hasn't been used much in the past 30 years, but it starts right up and drives well. They mention that they've driven it for about 80 to 100 miles without any issues, which is a good sign of its mechanical condition. However, the seller does recommend that if you're planning to drive the car a long distance, it would be best to tow it and use it around town first. This suggests that while the car runs well, it may need some additional maintenance or inspection before embarking on a long journey. The seller also mentions that the floors are in very good condition, which is important to note as rust can be a common issue with older vehicles. They do point out that there are a few minor rust spots on the outside of the car, but they emphasize that it's nothing major and just surface rust. One interesting aspect of this listing is that the seller is open to possible trades, which could be an attractive option for buyers who have items to trade, but may not have the full cash amount on hand. The asking price of $2,500 seems quite reasonable for a running and driving 1976 Buick LeSabre, especially considering its low mileage and overall condition. However, as with any used car purchase, it's a good idea to inspect the vehicle thoroughly in person and take it for a test drive before making a final decision. In conclusion, this 1976 Buick LeSabre appears to be a solid classic car that has been well preserved and maintained by its single owner. While it may need some minor cosmetic attention and a thorough inspection before long-distance driving, the seller's description suggests that the car is in good running condition and could be a great choice for a buyer looking for an affordable vintage vehicle. The option for possible trades also makes this listing more versatile for potential buyers. 18. We're taking a closer look at a 1979 Pontiac Firebird that's currently up for sale on Facebook Marketplace for $6,500. First, let's go over the details provided by the seller. This Firebird comes equipped with an automatic transmission, a sleek black exterior, and a matching black interior. The car runs on gasoline, and the seller mentions that the vehicle is paid off and comes with a clean title, indicating no major accidents or damage in its history. Now, let's dive into the seller's description. They start by mentioning that they are considering letting the car go and are interested in trading it for a 16-foot or larger aluminum fishing boat or a side-by-side vehicle. This suggests that the seller is open to alternative forms of payment or exchange, which could be an interesting option for potential buyers with compatible items to trade. However, the seller does point out a couple of issues with the car. They mention that the Firebird needs a torque converter to drive, which is a critical component of the automatic transmission system. This implies that the car is not currently drivable and will require repairs or replacement of the torque converter to be roadworthy. Additionally, the seller notes that the car has a lifter sticking due to sitting, which is a common issue with older vehicles that have been idle for an extended period. A sticking lifter can cause a ticking noise and potentially lead to more severe engine problems if not addressed. The seller does state that the car runs, but the sticking lifter is something to keep in mind. On a positive note, the seller mentions that they have a pile of parts for the car, including new door panels, which could be valuable for buyers looking to restore or upgrade their Firebird. They also state that the car has a built 350 engine with a turbo 350 transmission, which suggests that the powertrain has been modified or upgraded for improved performance. The seller also mentions that they have just put new carpet in the car, which is a nice touch and shows that they have invested some effort into maintaining or improving the interior. Lastly, the seller admits that they have lost interest in the car and are looking for something different, which is why they are considering selling or trading it. 19. We're taking a look at a 1979 Buick LeSabre that's currently listed on Facebook Marketplace for $3,000. First, let's go over the details provided by the seller. This LeSabre has been driven for 91,000 miles, which is relatively low for a car that's over 40 years old. It comes equipped with an automatic transmission, a classic green exterior, and a matching green interior. The car runs on gasoline and has had 2 owners throughout its lifetime. The seller also mentions that the vehicle is paid off. Now let's dive into the seller's description. They start by mentioning that they purchased the car from a one-owner, which suggests that the vehicle has been well cared for and has a clear ownership history. The seller states that the car runs and drives, which is a good sign of its mechanical condition. The seller also notes that the car is pretty clean, indicating that it's in good cosmetic condition. They mention that they have made several improvements and replacements, including new brakes, some brake lines, oil, battery, filter, headliner, carpet, and shocks. These updates show that the seller has invested time and money into maintaining and upgrading the vehicle. Additionally, the seller mentions that they have acquired some 22-inch rims with new tires, which could be a great addition for those looking to customize the look of their LeSabre. The larger wheels and new tires can give the car a more modern and stylish appearance. The seller suggests that this LeSabre would make a great old-school car and is a good starting point for a project or restoration. This implies that while the car is in good condition, there may be some room for further improvements or personalization. One thing to note is that the seller is asking for serious inquiries only, which suggests that they are not interested in lowball offers or tire kickers. Potential buyers should be prepared to make a fair offer and show genuine interest in the vehicle. The asking price of $3,000 seems reasonable for a running and driving 1979 Buick LeSabre with the mentioned upgrades and relatively low mileage. However, as with any used car purchase, it's a good idea to inspect the vehicle thoroughly in person and take it for a test drive before making a final decision. In conclusion, this 1979 Buick LeSabre appears to be a solid classic car that has been well maintained and updated by the seller. With its low mileage, clean condition, and recent improvements, it could be a great choice for someone looking for a vintage vehicle to enjoy as is or to use as a starting point for further customization. The inclusion of the 22-inch rims and new tires is a nice bonus that could appeal to buyers looking to personalize their ride. 20. We're taking a closer look at a 1966 Mercury Comet that's currently up for sale on Facebook Marketplace for $7,000. First, let's go over the details provided by the seller. This Comet has been driven for 140,000 miles, which is not uncommon for a car of this age. It comes equipped with an automatic transmission, a classic white exterior, and a vibrant red interior. The car runs on gasoline and comes with a clean title, indicating no major accidents or damage in its history. Now let's dive into the seller's description. They start by mentioning that the car has a 289 V8 engine and a C4 transmission that shifts well and has been recently serviced. This suggests that the powertrain is in good working order and has been properly maintained. The seller also lists several recent upgrades and replacements, including headers, a 2.5-inch dual exhaust system, a new carburetor, water pump, timing chain, and brakes all around. These improvements indicate that the seller has invested time and money into ensuring the car runs smoothly and reliably. Additionally, the seller mentions that the car has new carpet, which is a nice touch that adds to the interior's overall appearance and comfort. The Comet also comes equipped with torquey thrust wheels, which are a popular choice among classic car enthusiasts, and give the vehicle a sporty and stylish look. One important thing to note is that the seller states the price is firm, and they are not interested in trades. They also mention that they will not respond to auto-generated responses, which suggests they are looking for serious buyers who are genuinely interested in the car. The seller's reason for selling the Comet is due to a recent medical issue, which adds a sense of urgency to the sale. They also require that test drives are conducted with cash in hand, which is a reasonable request to ensure serious buyers and to protect their investment. The asking price of $7,000 seems fair for a 1966 Mercury Comet with the mentioned upgrades and in the described condition. However, as with any used car purchase, it's a good idea to inspect the vehicle thoroughly in person and take it for a test drive before making a final decision. In conclusion, this 1966 Mercury Comet appears to be a well-maintained and updated classic car that could be a great choice for enthusiasts looking for a stylish and reliable vintage ride. The seller's description suggests that the car has been properly cared for and has received several important upgrades, making it a solid contender in its price range.